Bonjour, hello. I'm here today to present to you the story of Pierre in association with the French wine board. And what I'm going to do, the story I will tell will hopefully describe the importance of wine in French culture, as well as serving for a vicious allegory in the continuing the literary tradition of such luminary lights as Sartre, Camus, Foucault, the famous French philosophers, will serve to remind us in the meaninglessness of existence. And it's the story of an old man called Pierre, who we find, and he's in the twilight of his years, looking back at his misspent youth, on his past follies. And he's now 80 years old and he's retired from his pointless job. And he spends his days staring into the abyss of the future. And it's a true story of Pierre. It took place in about 1998, 99, about this sort of time. And he would spend his days contemplating nothing, looking out of his window at the leaden grey sky, the rain washing down on his windows. And every day he would have to motivate himself somehow from his reverie. And he would have to motivate himself to move to the shop, the local shop, to buy himself his necessary supplements for his daily continued existence. He would buy maybe a baguette or a bottle of wine to continue replenishing the cells that is necessary for the grind of everyday life. And he would go to the shops, which was maybe somewhere 200 meters from his house, maybe less than this. But he was a very old man. He had a stick, a bâton, as we say in France. And he would go to the shop, and every day he would stop about halfway, and there was a little edge. And he would sit down in the little edge, in a little divot. And we would reach his arm into the edge and would pull forth a bottle of wine and a glass of wine. Well, a glass that was empty, but then he put wine in it, so it was a full glass of wine. And then he drank the wine, he put the filthy glass back in the edge, and would continue and go and buy his daily groceries from the shop, from the boulangerie, and that. And one day, Pierre died, and his house was bought by a big corporation. It was turned into a landfill site for toxic plastic and hair. And that's really the story of Pierre. That's all I wanted to share with you today. It just reminds us that nothing matters and that life is just a blink in an infinite and meaningless universe. And so we should be reminded that when we go to the shop, before we go to the shop, we should have a glass of wine. Before we go to take the rubbish out, take the bins down, we should have a glass of wine. Before we put the children into bed at night, we should give them a glass of wine too. Well, that's a message from me and from the French wine board today. I hope it has been informative. And vive la France!